Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new. In today's video, we're going to be doing our April update for my project HUDA Beauty. If you're not familiar with the series on my channel, I have been focusing on the 3 HUDA Beauty eyeshadow palettes that are in my collection, just trying to get some more use out of them and hit pans in as many shades as possible because I'm actually going to be retiring my Mercury Retrograde palette. I got a new one to replace it with in July around the time of my birthday because this one is rather old and it probably just needs to be replaced. So I wanted to try and hit pan on every shade in this palette by the time my birthday comes around in July. We're on our way there for sure. There are definitely some shades I'm not so sure about, but let's go ahead and talk about the 6 colors that we had in the rotation for this last month. The first up is the shade called Frazzled, and I'm just going to be showing you like a little bit at a time because we did actually hit pan in this shade. So it's this like coppery gold shade here, and it's a little tiny pan, but it's there. So with these particular formulas in Huda's palettes, they're pretty easy to hit pan on because they do move around a little bit. It's kind of difficult to have like an even pan in the shades, like even with the shade Cosmic here, you can see it has a larger pan, but I got that over using it a ton, but in the beginning the pan was tiny like this one in Frazzled. It's just I use the shades with my finger, so I think it just kind of like naturally looks a little bit more like a tunnel pan in these palettes, but you know, it is what it is, especially on the shimmer shades. But we do have the pan in that shade. Next up is the shade Utopia, and that is this light orange kind of shade right here. And you can see we have another little baby pan in this one. I just hit pan on this one in this look. Not gonna lie, I probably used a little bit more of this shade than I needed to, but I just honestly was so ready to hit pan in it that I just kept on building it up on this eye look because I knew I was so close to hitting pan, and I did not want to include this in for another month. I just wanted to switch it up and have some new shades to play around with, so I'm really happy to say that we have pan in this one. Once I'm at the very last shade of this palette, I'll include a good picture of it, so that's why I'm not showing you too much right now. The third shade is called Ultraviolet, and once again, we did hit pan in this one. So that is the shimmery purple shade here, and there is a little bitty tiny pan right there. So we've got another pan. I'm so excited about that. That is 3 in total already from this palette. Just very, very exciting in general. And then we'll talk about the next 2 together. I did not hit pan in either one of those, but we had the shades Karma and Crash, which are the 2 matte shades right here. They definitely have some pretty good dips in them, but I do not have pan on them. But I'm so satisfied to see how many pans are in this palette in total because there's just a lot of them now. So that just makes me really happy. Let's see. We have pans in 10 of the shades in this palette, so I think that that's amazing. I'm very happy about that. I definitely think that I can hit at least 2 more pans in the next month for sure. I also have another pan that I hit today, and it was in this shade here called Supernova. Now this one was not in this particular project as far as like the 6 colors that we had rolled in. However, the goal of this project is just to use the palettes more in general. So yeah, we did hit pan in that shade as well. So in today's look, I hit the pan in this shade as well as this one. And then yesterday I got really, really close to this. And then today I put some on my finger just to kind of see if I wanted to add it to the look. And then I got the little pan here as well. So we got 3 pans in one palette in one day. This one was pretty much from yesterday. It just had like the tiniest little pieces of glitter over it that I couldn't even tell it was pan, but it was, and I could see that today when I just tried to see if I wanted to use any. So yeah, I just want to stare at this palette, but we have some more to talk about. So those were the first 5 shades. Then from the new nude palette, we had the shade Tease. This one was the one that was rolled in to the project. Again, there is no pan in this one, however, it does have a tiny little dip in it, so I'm happy to see that. It usually takes me a really long time to have dip in a deep shade like this, so I'm really happy with the progress that I'm making on it. I think it has the largest dip of this entire palette, aside from the shade called Bear, which I pretty much use just to diffuse any other shade, so I'm not surprised by that, but I'm excited to see more and more progress. I'm going to keep it in. It's a pretty staple color. I use it a lot for my looks, so I'm happy to keep that in. And then we didn't have any particular shades in the rotation for the nude light palette. However, we do have some new pans in this palette as well. So I hit pan in the shimmery purple shade as well as the matte purple shade. So that being said, we only have one shade left that doesn't have pan in it, and it is the deep brown shade. I honestly probably could have hit pan in it today. It's very, very close, but I purposefully tried to like put my brush on the corner of it to add some depth to this look because I didn't want to hit pan yet. I wanted to take a picture with the pans that I have in here now so that I can have this one and then one with all of them. So I was trying to wait to use this shade too much because by the time I could take a picture of it today with my two new pans, I hit this one yesterday and this one over the weekend, last weekend. And yeah, I wanted to wait for this one. So I feel like that's going to be any day now, but when I got home, the sun had already gone down and I wanted to take a nice picture of it. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one too. This will be the first palette in my collection ever that I've had a pan in every shade from. So it's just so nice to look at. This is one of my favorite palettes ever. It brings back really good memories too because my grandma got it for me. So I just love this palette for so many different reasons. It's definitely one of my favorites. But of the 6 shades that we had in this rotation, I hit pan in 3 of them. So half of them have pan in them now, which means they can officially be rolled out of the project. I'm still focusing on the palettes in general, like I said, so I'll probably still be using them, but I'm not going to be focusing specifically on those 3 shades. I'm really, really happy to have hit pan in the shimmery purple shade called Ultraviolet, as well as the shade Utopia, these two, because Utopia I was getting a little bit tired of using. On a daily basis, I don't really go for this kind of like bright pink and orange look, but they're really fun kind of shades for looks like this when I'm just filming or taking pictures or something. The Ultraviolet shade is one of my least favorite in the palette. I'm not really a purple eyeshadow kind of person, like that grape sort of purple. I don't really think it looks very good on me, so kind of happy that I hit pan on that within 1 month so that I can focus on something else. Oh, I totally forgot. Okay, before we jump into the updates on the shades, I have a couple of looks that I wanted to share with you all that I used these palettes to create. There's just this one kind of like basic sort of look that I used the shade called Crash from this Mercury Retrograde palette, and then I used some of the lighter shimmers from that one too. I really like how that one turned out, and then I created a reel or a couple reels over on my Instagram with this look, and I really, really liked how it turned out. So if you want to see those reels, you can definitely go check those out on my Instagram. It's always linked down below. But those were my favorite looks. I also really like how this one turned out. It's very unique, I feel like, for what I do. It might not look like it on camera, but I don't typically do like an orange in the crease like really blown out, so I liked that about it. And then I feel like it matches my earrings perfectly. My husband actually made these earrings and we have some similar to them on our shop at shoppeMKT on Etsy. That's also always linked down below, and you can also check for a discount code that I have just for you guys for my YouTube and Instagram friends on like my makeup platforms. So that's always down in my description for you as well. It's 15% off all of our shop. You can go shop whatever you'd like and get the discount for being a subscriber of mine or a follower of mine on Instagram. So just a little shout out there for that. But I feel like this look goes with these earrings perfectly, and it's just so fun to me that my husband made them and I get to wear them. So I really like those. So now that we have hit pan in 3 of the shades, we need to roll in some more. And I think I typically go in order from Mercury Retrograde to New Nude to Nude Light. So I'm not going to be rolling anything in from Nude Light just because I know I'm going to hit pan in this deep brown shade so quickly, like probably tomorrow. I mean, it's seriously so close to having pan in it. I can try and put a picture in, but I think you can tell right here. I mean, it's so close to having pan in it. So I'm not going to roll anything in because that's the only one I need pan in. And I think I'm organically going to hit pan on this one. So we're going to leave that one out. So we're just going to be choosing shades from the 2 of these palettes. So we've got 8 more shades in Mercury Retrograde that do not have pan in them. And then we have all of the shades in this one. So we're just going to go ahead and roll for those. All right, so I've got my random generator going from the numbers 1 to 36. And I have no re-rolls on. However, it could roll a shade that we already have pan in. So like usual, we'll just re-roll if that's the case. So the first one's going to be 27. Also, if that wasn't clear, 1 through 18 will come from the Mercury Retrograde palette, and then 19 through 36 will come from New Nudes. I think I hit the button again, so we also have 20, but let's go ahead and get 27. Oh, okay. So 27 is this shade here called a Tickle, and This is such a pretty shade, so I'm very, very excited for that. Also, let me go ahead and swatch Tease as well, which was the shade we already had from this palette. I really wanted to get more shades from this palette specifically because we only have the one from it, so I'll be happy to have some shades come from this one, this rotation. So here's the shade Tease that's already in the rotation. That was the worst swatch ever of that. And then here is the shade called Tickle, which is the new one. They're actually kind of similar, but they're definitely a little bit different. This one has a more pink tone to it. And then this one is a little bit more of like a rich sort of like purpley plum kind of color. Okay, I went ahead and swatched the other two shades that were already in here. So this was Crash and Karma from the Mercury Retrograde palette. Like I said, I accidentally went ahead and re-rolled my next number. So number 20 is going to be next, which is going to be the shade called Crave. This is one of my favorite shades from this palette, so I'm very excited about that. I love these marbled shades that are in this palette. If I get a pressed glitter, I'm gonna re-roll, by the way. That's just not realistic for me to hit pan on because I just use these a lot during the week. But the shade Crave is so pretty. It's got a lot of like multi-dimensional little flecks to it. So I think that'll go really perfectly with all of these shades as well because it can pretty much pair with any of them. It's really pretty on the lid and it just adds the nicest finish to it. Okay, so we've got 5 shades and I'm gonna go ahead and pick one more so we can have another round of 6. So number 26, again from the new nude palettes. That's gonna be nice. We're gonna have a little bit better of a split. And we just got my next favorite shade in the palette, which is the one called Daydream here. Both of these are so pretty, so I'm very excited about both of these. This has been by far my favorite rotation yet. All of these shades are the ones that I really like. So I'm so excited to use all of these together. These aren't swatching as great as they show up on your eyes, but I am so excited about this rotation. This might seem boring. I don't even care. I've been kind of bored of using the bright colors that have been in the rotation. So to have some more like neutral shades to use, this is the best thing ever. I'm so excited about this. So these are going to be the 6 shades that we focus on for the month of April. When I'm filming this, it's actually April 7th. I know it's a little bit late in the month to be filming this update, but you know, it is what it is. It's been a little bit busy lately. So also, of course, I'm going to be focusing on this shade as well because I want to hit pan in it, but it's not going to be like officially a part of like the 6, okay? So yeah, I'm going to probably just try and use these until the beginning of May. So it might be a little bit less than 1 month, but I really didn't wear makeup a lot in the last month, but I hit several pans. So I'm hoping we can kind of like continue that trend. So I will check back with you guys in the beginning of May with the update, and I hope that we have some more pans because these are some of my favorite shades. So I feel like I'm not gonna have any problems whatsoever wearing them for the next month, especially during the week. But with that being said, that's gonna be it for today's video. Let me know down below what you think about the shades that we've got for the next rotation. If you enjoyed today's video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you have a bunch of Huda palettes sitting around that need more use out of them, feel free to join me in this project. You can always tag me on Instagram or mention me in YouTube so I can see your videos. I would love to see your guys' progress on your Huda palettes as well. But I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.